Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Dominions 5, the single-player game that I'm playing here, Fomoria. So, last time, we put Oceana under siege, and we do still have a small army left to do so. However, General Confusion got stabbed in the brain so hard that he achieved dementia, which, really, I was just asking for it with this name. But hey, you know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. So he has a limp, which decreases his combat speed. And he has dementia, which means he has episodes of inactivity in combat. Also, his leadership is halved, and his magic resistance is reduced. His magic resistance is still okay, but basically it's all very sad, and it makes him much, much worse in combat. That said, he does still have very powerful magic. The dementia does not affect that, so he is still useful. So, this force should be able to hold the Oceanans under siege, hopefully. It doesn't seem to have much by way of troops inside it. It did say that this small army was enough to damage the walls, which means I have an advantage. Also, I have Oisin moving up with a whole bunch of Nemedian warriors, which he can take underwater, because he has the gift of water breathing. So he can take up to 25 size points worth of units underwater with him. So this is 12, 14, 16, that's 32 size points. He's size, the Fomorian Druid is size 4, so that's 8 more. So yeah, he comes under his threshold for this whole army. So this whole army should be able to go underwater. Over here, I want to build a temple here. So Freukan, actually, build a temple, and that will allow me to recruit Fomorian Druids in this province. So by recruiting Fomorian Druids here, I will basically increase my combat ability significantly, because Firbolg Druids are mainly useless in combat, whereas Fomorian Druids are quite decent, and also holy, so their upkeep is paradoxically lower than the Firbolg. They upkeep 56, whereas the Fomorians, well, it's not lower, but it's not that much more, and they're certainly worth more than that. So I'm going to build a temple there, just for maximum efficiency. I'm going to swap that over to that guy to make sure my research keeps up. Over here, I have started recruiting Nemedian sorceresses instead of more Fomorian kings. I don't plan to go underwater and fight Pelagia all that much. Ideally, I'd just kind of hold him off. And Nemedian warriors can be taken underwater anyway if necessary by Fomorian kings. And Nemedian sorceresses, since I can recruit them every turn, they will expand my magic power much more rapidly than the Fomorian kings will. In order for I just totally stopped talking there for a second. In order for kings to be efficient, I need the kind of research that lets them function as supercombatants or thugs, which I don't have yet. My research queue is actually empty. I finished my conjuration research. So I do now have Summon Earth Power and Dark Knowledge. Dark Knowledge, I am actually just going to start casting with pretty much anybody who's standing around and has death magic, which is nobody at the moment because I took my Death Fomorian Druid away. Okay, well, never mind that. Maybe I won't start casting that spell. This army is just standing around at the moment. I am going to split off... I'm going to split off Nevin in order to build a temple here as well, because you may notice my my dominion is not spreading quickly, because basically I haven't built any temples. I only have a total of 6 dominion spread chances, because I've only ever built 1 temple. So by building another temple up here, I'll get another dominion spread chance. By building this temple, I'll get another dominion spread chance. And if I build 5, they will actually increase the strength of my dominion, so that I don't have this situation where I have enemy dominion in my provinces. At some point, I also need to actually claim the Throne of Spring, which I don't think I've done. I need to increase the defenses around the Throne of Spring, that's for sure. Get some defenses up there as well. This province can also recruit heavy and light cavalry, so this might be a good place to build a fortress. Well, I say that, but in actuality it's a terrible place to build a fortress because it has no resources whatsoever, and nothing near it has any resources either. So scratch that. this would be a terrible place to try to recruit heavy cavalry from. This place is much better, because at least it has some woods nearby and some, you know, places that actually have a few resources for it to gather. This place, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, except for Nevin, this army is going to keep moving. We're going to end up bordering Machaca really, really quick here. And this fortress, I am going to recruit... Yeah, I'm going to recruit more heavy cavalry down here. Actually, I'll probably recruit 3 heavy cavalry, and then some Furbolg. Nope, I run out of recruitment points doing that. Alright, heavy cavalry all the way it is. Yeah, that one maxes out my recruitment points. Okay, so I'm just holding the siege down here. Up here, Feartongue is... Can't you build a temple? Yes, good, build a temple. So that uses up all of my money. My income is actually quite good now, because I've taken these valuable provinces up here. Those 3 alone give me more than 200 gold. And everything's looking reasonably well right now. And I'm getting defenses on the coasts, lots of defenses, because I do anticipate that at some point here, Pelagia is going to come storming out of the oceans and try to kill me. And I do have to be ready for that. I need to build up my troops in a big way, which is why I'm recruiting heavily from both forts at this point. So, let's end the turn and see what happens. Wait, never mind. What's going on? Ah, my scouts. You can move down there. You move up that way. Actually, I don't know how I ended up with 2 scouts in the same province. You kind of move north just to keep an eye on things, and you... Actually, that is a good province for you to be in, but I want you to shift up north, see if maybe Machaca has moved in this direction. Okay. Walls are moderately damaged. Battle in Gold Mountains. I lost 2 Furbolg slingers, but I killed a demon priest and a whole bunch of Ko-Onis. So we've taken the Gold Mountains. The Gold Mountains actually have decent resources. Those are Deer Tribe. If Machaca doesn't want to fight yet, then I don't want to fight Machaca. I am perfectly happy with not fighting any wars with Machaca right at the moment. Oceana, since I have their capital under siege, is receiving no income unless they have another fort built over here somewhere, which I don't think they do. And they're also, they're not able to recruit troops here. And once again, I think this is their only fort, so all they can recruit now is random low-tier infantry, and they can't do it very well. I am going to give Feartongue... Now, I'm taking this army underwater, aren't I? So actually, all this storm stuff I scripted, totally, totally worthless. So go back to 1, go back to 1. Y'all just need to spam lightning bolts, including Feartongue. However, you will need to bless yourselves. So... Yeah, nah. Yes, blessing. And you are also going to need to do basically the same thing. I'm going to take all these mages underwater because Lightning Bolt can be cast underwater, and it will definitely be useful. Now, Shadow Blast. Shadow Blast is actually a really, really powerful spell. It uses death gems. Do I want to use gems at this point? Bolt of Unlife. Yeah, I do. Actually, I do. So you are going to cast a couple of Shadow Blasts and then Lightning Bolts. Now, why does it say you can't cast Shadow Blast? Oh, because you don't have any Death Gems. Well, let's give you 2 Death Gems. We'll take those Air Gems away. There, now you can cast Shadow Blast. And I'm going to activate Conservative Magic Gem usage because this only has... It does have 100 fatigue cost, but it only requires Shadow Blast. 1 second. Shadow Blast only requires 2 death, and he has 3 death, so each casting will actually cost him 50 fatigue. So I need to adjust this. 1 second. Blessing, Shadow Blast, Lightning Bolts. Actually, I'll uncheck that. I do have enough gems at the moment, so I'm going to give him 4. Actually, I'm thinking I'm going to give him 6 so that I can give a couple to General Confusion, who has 7 levels of death. And so his Shadow Blast would be absolutely monstrous. I just need Oisin to shuttle some gems over to him. Gift of Water Breathing 50. Each of these are 4, so that's 12 plus 3 times 16. I think I need to leave a couple of Nemedians behind in order to take Feartongue with me. But I'll do that. So 2 turns, he'll move up there. How's the fortification? See, it says wall integrity 100. But it also says that I'm breaking down the walls. Walls are moderately damaged. Huh, I don't know what to say about that. Oh, and Finn has now developed lightning reflexes, so he has increased defense skill, which is great. Let's get Nevin moving up to join the army. We'll get some defenses built up. Oh, it's just Ko-Oni. Oh, I can recruit Ko-Oni here. In fact, they're the only things I can recruit. Interesting. So Ko-Oni are actually kind of cool troops. They don't take any resources. They are gluttonous, so they take more supplies than usual, and undisciplined, and they cause unrest. They have chaos power, which is kind of cool. They're demonic, but the interesting thing about them is that despite the fact that their stats are not great, not only are they very cheap, but when they die, if their body is slain, their spirit will survive. So basically, if these things are killed in battle, they transform into a ghost, an ethereal unit. And unless that ethereal unit is also killed, they respawn at the end of the battle. They just come back. Pop. Which is honestly pretty sweet. You are going to start casting Dark Knowledge, and you're going to cast it every turn forever or until I run out of Death Gems, whichever comes first. So that is a remote site searching spell, and what it does is when I cast it on a province, it automatically finds every death site that is in that province if there are any. So it costs gems to cast, but if you find some death sites, it can pay back itself pretty quickly. She did also get a level of nature, which is like not terribly valuable, but sure is something. You know, that's something that happens. Actually, I believe there's a magical item you can forge with death and nature. Yes, the Effigy of War. This is just kind of an interesting little side note. This item is totally useless in single player, but in multiplayer it can be super fun. It costs death and nature gems. And what it does is, if it's in a province, it increases the visible size of your army. So the size of your army that other players will see who have vision to the province by 50 units. So basically, this is a unit that in multiplayer makes you able to play all kinds of really cool mind games by making it seem like you have a huge army somewhere when you don't actually have any army there, or only a small one. She can also cast the Gossamer Cloth, which is the opposite. This makes armies look smaller. So you can draw people into traps by making your army appear very small, and then surprise! All of a sudden, there they are. Ranger's boots are also pretty cool. They're not the best reinvigoration item, but they are a decent reinvigoration item, and they're cheap. Reinvigoration items like this, or the Boots of the Messenger, which are a level down, more expensive and more powerful, are a key part of building thugs. Because one of the things you really want to accomplish is you want to make thugs fatigue neutral, so that they don't gain fatigue just by fighting. Other things that are valuable for thugs are area of effect damage weapons, of which there's one... They cost fire at this level. I think there's one that can be done with water magic later on. The Spear of the Morrigan. Interesting. This is actually kind of a cool weapon. It's not area of effect, but it does life drain, so you get hit points and fatigue back for every hit point drained up to 5. So if you hit somebody with this and you do 5 damage or more, you get like 2 or I think it rounds up, so you would get 3 hit points and 10 fatigue back. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. That's a pretty good thug weapon. And it decays the target, so even if they don't die, they start decaying and they age very rapidly. So actually, I take it back. This is an anti-thug weapon. If you hit a thug with decay and then get them stuck in combat for several more rounds, they will start to suffer very, very badly. It's not area of effect, but I might forge one of these. With a Spear of the Morrigan, a horror helmet, a decent suit of armor, and some boots. you could get a pretty decent combat build going. Anyway, that's for the future, though. I'm not really right now. I cast ritual spell, monthly dark knowledge. Yeah, sure. Okay. Molding. So all of these guys are moving. These guys still recruiting heavy cavalry. These guys still recruiting Nemedian warriors and Firbolg slingers. Actually, yeah, I'm recruiting those mainly because I'm out of resources. I could recruit Fomorian militia, which are good blockers. I mean, they're worthless, but you can use them to block. And they cost almost no resources, so hey, why don't I do that? 3 Fomorian militia or 5 slingers. Yeah, let's get 3 militia. I can just mix them in to take up space, basically. And I'll want to recruit a commander at some point, but not right now. So those guys are moving. This scout should move up there to kind of keep an eye on what Pelagi is doing. They did move a whole bunch of troops out just now. There used to be 200, now there's 110. They've got a fort there, they've got a fort here. Not a very good fort, but a fort nonetheless. I think I'm going to start sweeping south now. I'm going to start moving to take over Oceana's land provinces, really cut them off, do as much damage as I can. Over here, I need a temple here so that I can recruit these demon priests. Well, I don't need one. Demon priests are not terribly impressive. They have a small chance to get some magic, but they're not very valuable. They are priests, they can banish and all that, but only level 1. I am, however, going to recruit Kooni over here just to have kind of demons sitting around. I can move commanders up this way and pick them up as I go. They might be useful against Machaka later on. And I think that's going to be nearly the end of the turn. You are going to stay there. You can move down here. They haven't taken that throne yet. Oh, wait, I am forgetting. The thing that I need to do is you all don't move yet because I want to declare a new prophet. I am going to declare probably Angus. Either Angus or Oisin the prophet. I think it's going to be Angus because Angus is closer to this throne, which I want to take. I want to take the Throne of the Spring. It gives me growth, which means money, and it gives me air gems and lets me recruit mages and all that cool stuff. So, then you all just preach for the moment. You could build a temple, but I don't have any money, so just preach. Okay, Dark Knowledge. No new magic sites. We've got the Unmarked Champion. Researching Conjuration is complete. So we're up to Conjuration level 4, which means I can now summon Barghest, and I have all these cool spells. That's all the Conjuration I think I need right at the moment. I have Enchantment level 4, but I need level 5 to get Horde of Skeletons, and I also want to buff Construction, because I'm starting to get to the point where I can build cool items. So let's get Construction level 4, and then Enchantment level 5. See, look, Oceana. It still says Fort Integrity 100, but it also says I'm damaging it, so who knows what's going on. Oh, shoot. I forgot how this works. Oisin can't take other commanders with him. These Fomorian druids have to have their own abilities. Okay, look. Forge some. I should have remembered that this was how it worked and just did this a long time ago. Because I have all these water random Fomorian or Firbolg druids, I can forge some rings of water breathing to give to these guys. It'll be good to have a few rings of water breathing. I'm just going to move them up into... I'm just going to send Oisin in, honestly. Then I can script General Confusion to cast Shadow Blast, and with 2 Shadow Blasts, that'll give a significant buff to that army. Down here, I'm getting my cavalry recruited. Got some Nemedians and Fomorian militia over here. I'll recruit a commander pretty soon. My death gems are down pretty low. I only get 2 per month, which is why I'm doing this Dark Knowledge thing. It costs 4 gems to cast. But I really want to do it. I really want to get more death gems. Although, honestly, actually, look. I'm just going to send them out to site search manually. It'll be faster in the long run. And it will cost less by way of resources. We're launching the attack down here. I would like to move Angus back to take that. I'd also like to take some provinces, though. Yeah, let's keep on the offensive. We'll grab this one, and then we can swing back. Yeah, they're only level 2, so the Fomorian kings can't take them. Okay. Doing fine. You're sneaking. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, they're stealthy. So they can actually sneak into enemy provinces and cause trouble. Which is kind of a neat ability. Pretty soon, I have some dominions spreading from there now. Pretty soon, you can see my total checks have gone up to 9, which is nice. As I've now interrupted myself twice from saying, pretty soon I want to build another fort. And ideally it would be like here. If it was here, then it would get pretty decent resources. And also pretty decent income and recruitment points, I think. So that would probably be a good place for another fort. Okay, a battle in Spring Spires, which I won. I did lose one Nemedian warrior. I took out a budding army of Oceana. I'm not watching all of these battles just because they are, I think, basically the same. We can watch this one, but it's just, you know, just blessing myself, dropping lightning bolts. See, I actually need to check something. Okay, that looked like I got all of my lightning bolts, but let me look at the battle unit overview. So this Furbolg Druid here, lightning bolt, that was a hit, lightning bolt, that was a hit. No, that was not a hit, that was proximity damage. Lightning bolt, that was another hit. Okay, so it looks like Oram is casting it every turn. Cast. See, this is what confuses me. These lightning bolts that do nothing. I'm not at all certain that... It's possible that lightning bolts that miss everything just aren't rendered. That might be the cause of my confusion, where it looks like some of the bolts aren't appearing. But it's kind of weird if that's so. Honestly, like Nevin, especially with their very, very high precision when they're blessed, I'm surprised if Nevin's lightning bolts are scattering that much. Quite surprised. Let me look at these units here. So you're blessed, so your precision is 15. Wait, hold up. Yeah, 15. Precision 15. Precision 15. That's a slinger. I don't want a slinger. I want the druid. Yeah, precision 15. Okay, I mean, I guess that's just what it is. And the Nemedians have gotten into the cavalry, and everything's going very well indeed. Except my mages are now casting heal and healing touch and things instead of many lightning bolts. But anyway, very standard, very easy battle. The walls are critically damaged, but a little more time is required to break them down completely. Okay, so I guess this wall integrity just doesn't actually always shows the maximum. It doesn't actually show how much damage the walls have taken. So now, general confusion. I'm going to transfer 2 of those death gems over to him. And so he doesn't need to cast Blessing anymore because now he's in a battle with the main guy. So 2 Shadow Blasts and then Shadow Bolt. Nah, Lightning Bolts. 2 Shadow Blasts followed by Lightning Bolts. Water Shield, not Breath of Winter. Instead of Breath of Winter, you can also drop Shadow Blasts. And then Lightning Bolts. Orb Lightning isn't as impressive as I was thinking it was. And then cast spells. Do you have any items? Yeah, you have a Weightless Kite Shield, which increases your defense. Your precision, however, is still crappy low. Your precision is not bad. Precision 12. Okay, so I think that will probably be enough to win the fight. They have their Pretender in there, but I don't think Oceana managed to do a whole lot of valuable research. So you go back to researching, now that you've built those things there. Have all these Furbolg Druids research. And I do have a temple now, so I can recruit Fomorian Druids. I want Furbolg Champion or Mounted Commander. 40 gold, 12. let's get 2 Firbolg champions real quick, just to help lead these armies that I have over here. This army has 25 units and is still expanding. You search for magic sites. You search for magic sites. You... What can you forge that's good? Coral Blade, Bane Blade... Ah, you have a level of water magic. So, forging-wise... The Flask of Holy Water, which automatically blesses you as you go into battle. That's kind of cool. The Bane Blade, Ice Pebble Staff... Ice Mist Scimitar? Oh, it does fatigue damage in an area. That's kind of cool. Could be useful. And it gives you cold resistance. I want to forge a Spear of the Morrigan. I want to try this, but I want to level up my construction before I really dedicate myself to building units for things for thugs. So I'm going to have construction level 4 next turn. I think I'm going to build another Fomorian king real quick, so I can give him some equipment. You both are searching. You all are fighting. 40 enemy units, we can take them. Ain't no problem. No problem at all. And that one, I remember that throne, I think, has some wizards in it. So I'm wary of that throne. Over here, just keep recruiting Ko-Oni, just for fun, just to have them there. There is a commander in the province defense. Let me buff it up so I get a couple more commanders there, just to make sure people don't rout. And I think that'll be good for this turn. Yes, I know my scouts aren't moving, but my scouts are about where I want them. So I can see here there is an enemy Machakan force and some summoned dead. There's another force moving up this way. And then who else is doing nothing? You're just sitting there keeping an eye on Pelagia, and you're sitting there. Okay, good. Okay, 2 magic sites in Werk Enum. The Sky Split Oak and the Whisperwind Tower. Air sites, not death sites, but also not bad. I already knew about the gem deposits. You have not been searched for death, so you move over that way. You can get down there. What? Unexpected event. Oh, an ice druid has come to serve the Lord of the Winter Throne. That's pretty sweet. And Valor the High King appeared at the gates of your giant fortress and wanted to fight for your cause. Okay, so I've gotten a random Fomorian hero. Valor, oh yes. So Valor is twice cursed, afflicted with a monstrous appearance and a ravenous hunger. Also cursed to be slain by his own grandson, which has led him to promptly imprison all of his daughters and their sons in guarded towers. So he has a Gaze of Death, which is automatically, it always hits with an attack of 100, and it does magical damage at a range of 15. He has a Javelin, and he has the Bronze Spear. He's a level 3 air, level 4 Death Mage. He has 9 fear, Gluttony, so he eats as much food as... He eats 20 more units of food than a normal size 6 monster. Gift of Water Breathing 75, and Leadership 160. Including 120 undead. Okay, one second. I need to check something. Yes, he can forge Skull Staffs, which give death magic bonuses. So, with level 4 death, he can do that. He can also forge the Crown of Bones, which gives you extra undead command, but lowers your inspirational, which is, I mean, okay. Oh, and the Chainmail of Displacement. The Chainmail of Displacement not only is a very, very good piece of armor, it also gives you, does it give you anything, or is it just really good armor? I forget. I think it's just really good armor, actually. And the Winged Shoes, which let you fly. These are a fantastic item for fast-moving units. So he can forge a whole bunch of stuff, like the Amulet of the Dead, which gives you a bonus to your reanimation. He can forge the Flying Carpet, which lets 14 size points of units fly. He can forge all kinds of cool stuff, none of which is hugely, hugely useful yet. Well, actually, I say that, but I'm wrong. The Winged Helmet can buff air magic. Okay, let me see what I've got here. So Chamrav is level 2 water, level 1 nature. You move back there, because I have some stuff you can forge for sure. You're going to sneak over there. You're sneaking over there. You are recruiting... Did you get your 2 commanders? Yeah, you got your 2 commanders. So you are going to start recruiting Fomorian druids until the end of time. Valor down here with his level 4 death is going to forge a skull staff. And Piala is going to forge the Frost Brand. Okay, this is one of the items I was telling you about. This is one of the classic thug weapons because it has a decent attack, but it also does armor-piercing area of effect damage to the whole square that you strike. So it does a whole bunch of damage, and it only costs 5 water gems, so it's cheap. There are no shields she can forge. So at this point, if I wanted to, I could make a reasonable thug equipment setup. It would be like Frostbrand, Horror Helmet for Fear Effect, Chainmail of Displacement, and probably not winged shoes. I would do Ranger's boots. And then for miscellaneous items, we could go like Amulet of Missile Protection. What else? What else could we do? Possibly Amulet of the Dead, maybe? For miscellaneous items, we kind of have to look around a little bit. You have Nature Magic. I can forge the Thistle Mace now, which is a nature buff, but only if I have 2 levels of nature. Or the Vine Bow, which isn't very good. I can forge the Vine Shield. Nope, I need 2 levels of nature. I don't have anything that has nature 2. The Vine Shield is one of the real classic thug items as well, because anyone who attacks you is automatically entangled, which debuffs them very, very heavily. Mistletoe Garland? Nah. What else? Yeah, it's Boots of the Messenger. Reinvigoration 3. I'm actually going to do this. You know what? I'm going to do it. We're going to forge Boots of the Messenger. We're going to forge Chainmail of Displacement. We're going to forge a Frost Brand. And you, instead of a Skull Staff, I'm going to give all this equipment to Balor the High King. Nah, I'm going to give all this equipment to the new Fomorian King I recruit. Balor is too valuable as a commander to be wasted on thuggery. You are going to forge a... I don't need you to forge a Horror Helmet. What do I need you to forge? You can forge a Skull Staff. Over here, who has... Death? Anyone? Death? Nope, looks like I've moved all my death away. Actually, I'll tell you what. You can forge the Frost Brand. And you forge a Horror Helmet. I don't have enough magic gems. Okay, Alchemy. I have way too many water gems. And not enough death gems. So then you forge a Horror Helmet to give more fear. So I'll have defensive armor, reinvigoration, fear, and a powerful weapon. The only thing I don't have is a shield. Shield of Valor? It gives me air shield automatically, which is nice, protects against missiles. Or I could get one of the weightless shields, which give me a very high parry. Probably the Shield of Valor, I think. More protection. Yeah, the only benefit of the Shield of Valor... The benefit of the Shield of Valor over the weightless kite shield is that it gives you air shield. So basically, when you're making a thug, what you want is you want the maximum number of protections from as many things as possible. Air shield is really valuable in that sense, because... Oh, or the Girdle of Might. Yes, Girdle of Might, reinvigoration and strength. So that will make him basically, I think, fatigue neutral. And then you... So having air shield would be kind of cool, because it means that missile attacks have only a very, very, very low chance of doing any damage to him. So yeah, Shield of Valor. That's a ton of equipment to be putting on one unit. But hopefully it'll be worth it. It might be... That might well be too much of an investment in one unit. You move down there. What? Battle in Spring Spires. Oh, they attacked me, is what happened there. I lost one Nemedian warrior and wiped them all out. Cool. And the entrance to the fortification in Oceana has been breached. So you know what? I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in with this. General confusion. They're scripted for Shadow Blasts. You're scripted for Shadow Blasts. Shadow Blast is long range enough. Yeah, range 35 plus. I think you can do it. So let me make sure. They have to be close up enough that they'll be able to cast it right away. You guys need to just attack. Move up there. And the giants... Yeah, you need to... Since when you're going into a fort, there's only one way you can go. So the giants also need to just attack. And you can be in a box. And you can be in a box, because they're not going to be attacking me, I'm attacking them. Now, since these guys are ethereal, they can actually phase through the walls, so they can flank. I'll set them on attack rearmost, so that they can go after the commander. And ideally, they'll surround the enemy pretender god and whittle him down. So both of you... Nope, don't move. Nope, don't move. You're going to storm the castle. Alright, let's see how that goes. Meanwhile, Valor the High King, yeah, he's forging the Skull Staff. So that I can give it to, like, Monina to buff her death magic to 4. Or I can give it to him. He already has 4. If I can buff him to 5, then he should be able to forge... at some level here, at level 6, he'll be able to forge the flailing... I'm sorry, not the flailing hands. The Skull Face, which is another death booster. But okay, let's see about taking out Oceana. I should get a commander up there as well. You, head up there to those Ko-Oni, please. And you, my other commander. You're already moving. Where's the other one? Angus. You get those units. I won't script him yet. I just wanted to give them to him. Alright, who else is doing nothing? Yeah, you can just patrol for now. And my scouts are about where I want them, I believe. Actually, you can move out that way. Okay. Let's see how this goes. See if we can knock Oceana out right now. A message from Machaca. Oh, they've declared war. Okay, they attacked me. Alright. Battle at the Fortress of Oceana. So, pause. Let's see what they have. So, they have some Ichthyosaur warriors guarding the walls. Looks like they have been summoning. So they have some Vine Algae Men, which are chaff. They have an Aphroy Hierophant there. Another one there. Here is a Siren, who has 2 levels of water magic. And here's their Pretender God. 6 fire, 6 earth, 4 astral, and 5 death. No gems. Blessing-wise... Decay weapons, protection +5, fire shield, and undead leadership. So, very well protected, but not much that's really going to help him immediately. He is immortal, but immortality will not help him if I conquer his home province. The most dangerous things they have right now are the Sea Serpents, because the Sea Serpents have a high attack poisoning attack, which does a bunch of poison damage. And they also have fear. But they are undisciplined, so let's see how this goes. Okay, we're summoning water power. Shadow Blast. Where'd the Shadow Blast go? Oh, no. The Shadow Blast missed completely. Come on, throw another Shadow Blast. Yep, there it is. Oh, that did some damage. That was what I wanted to see. Dropping some more Shadow Blasts, some more Lightning Bolts. Yes! Wipe them out with that. Lightning Bolts, Shadow Blasts. Oh, the magic is going down. Fatigue, he's now fatigued out from casting those spells. He is only at fatigue 64, so he's still going strong. And most of the enemy have been destroyed. They've only got 1 Sea Serpent left. A bunch of Ichthyosaurs, which will not stand up to my troops. Yeah, some of their troops are already routing, including some of their holy units. Back here, I think all my shades are gone. I believe they got banished relatively early on. But you know what? That's okay. I have now, wow, spammed out just a whole bunch of undead. Summoned a whole bunch of soulless warriors. That's the value of having high death magic, by the way. That took like 1 or 2 rounds to do. Unfortunately, his holy magic is setting me on fire, and my troops appear to be sort of bouncing around on the walls trying to kill these little ichthyosatyrs instead of accomplishing anything. So I really, really hope that this doesn't end badly. If you fight for a certain number of rounds, I believe the attacker just automatically routs, but okay. This will be kind of a tricky part, because both of these units have fire shields, which do, in his case, 12, and in his case, 6 armor-piercing damage to anyone who hits them. Now, I do have spears, and my spears mean I take less damage back, but oh, no. No, it's over. It is so over, and we're about to stab his pretender god to death. Losing a couple of units, but it's okay. Yeah, he's down to 14 hit points, almost fatigued out, vulnerable to critical hits. I am losing Numidians trying to kill him. I'm losing a number of Numidians, but I continue to spam out skeletons. And Feartongue is dead. That's it. That is it. I lost 11 of my 14 Numidians at all of my shades, plus 1 of my giants, but the Son of the Sea and the Fomorian King won it for me. And that is the whole ball game for Oceana. Machaka attacked me in Spring Spires, and they won. They did lose a couple of units, but they overran my province defense with no trouble at all. In Dershid, they attacked Independence and also won, but they actually suffered more casualties than they inflicted, so I'm going to call that a very, very qualified win. In Gentle Plains, I did lose an Numidian, but I took out the enemy forces very, very effectively. So, this is a problem. I do now have a fort and a laboratory. I have the Grove of Aphros, which gives me nature and water gems. Oisin. So Oisin has 3 and 3, so he's not bad. Fiaka back here has 3, 1, and 2, so he's eh. Actually, let me look at Fiakna real quick, because I know there are some spells you can cast with 1 water that could be useful. Not really. I think later in Alteration there's some spells you can cast with 1 water that are useful, but not immediately. But, so, stat-wise, Oisin right now has Defense 17, Protection 15, and these attacks. We're going to give him Boots of the Messenger, Chainmail of Displacement, Horror Helmet, Frostbrand, Shield of Valor, and the Girdle of Might. We're going to give him, put that back in the lab, take the Shield of Valor. Okay, so now he has Defense Skill 23. His combat speed is still 15. His fatigue is 0 because he has so much reinvigoration. He hits with 36 damage plus the small area cold. His attack skill only 12? Attack 1? Why is his attack skill only 12? It should be higher than that, because the Frostbrand has an extra point of attack. But he has an air shield effect. His fear is now, he has fear 8. And overall, he's doing very, very, very well. So now, I can script Oisin. Let's take out the Shadow. Let's take out all his current spells. He has air shield already. At this point, what I want to do is, I want to start researching Alteration sometime pretty soon. So that we'll get Enchantment level 5, and then we'll get Alteration, because Alteration has basically the self buffs. Yeah, like Water. Water 1 has Quicken Self. So actually, I do want to give this to the Water guy, because Quicken Self is a fantastic spell. It lets you take regular combat actions twice every turn. You can also get Ice Shield, can only be cast underwater, but later on, you can get Mist Form, which makes you very hard to hit. And then at level 4, you get Liquid Body, which is another water buff. It slows you down and lowers your strength, but it makes it very hard to hurt you. So, Oisin, you give all those items back. You don't get those, they are not for you. You can have the Weightless Kite Shield. Fiakna, over here, can have all of those. And Valor can have the Skull Staff, which boosts his death to 5. So now, with 5 death, nothing else you can forge yet. But soon. Soon there will be. For now, just research. Feartongue, on the other hand, can start moving out. He is going to be our beatstick. And look how far he can... Why can he move so far? Why can you move so far? Oh, because you have 29 map move. Yeah, you can move just anywhere you please, basically, with 29 map move. Anyway, that is going to be it for this turn. Oceana is basically dead in the water. Without their capital, there's nothing they can do. Ocean here is going to build a temple. I am going to upgrade... yeah, I'm going to use my Pretender God to upgrade a fortress, which is a huge waste, but... Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. That's a huge waste. I'm going to recruit a Triton commander. General Confusion is going to move up here to help the army. He's going to... I'm going to re-script him real quick. He's going to cast... Storm? Storm requires a gem. I'll do the re-scripting off screen. It gets a little bit boring, but... I'm going to take these troops. General Confusion is going to come up here to help this army. Then move down to claim the throne. I'll send my prophet up to claim that throne. And Feartongue, once my research gets me a couple levels of alteration. Alteration level 4 is where it gets really, really good with liquid body, but even level 3. Let's get alteration level 4 to make him powerful. And then Feartongue will basically go out and conquer provinces on his own. Over here, you're going to search for magic sites. You're going to search for magic sites. And that is going to be it for this episode. We will, of course, continue very soon. It is only early fall in the year 2. Didn't quite cover a year this time. But I think we got a good bit done. So thank you all so much for watching. And I will see you in the next one.